neither side wants a decoupling. And what had occurred with these very high tariffs,
someone get him a Red Bull.
as Ambassador Greer said,
I understand why Josh
was the equivalent of an embargo, and neither side wants that. We do want trade. We want more balanced trade, and I think that both sides are committed to achieving that.
Now, here's where I don't agree. Both sides are not committed to achieving that, and I don't necessarily think that's possible. Donald Trump and China have reached a trade deal after some meetings in, I believe it was Geneva, Switzerland. A lot of questions as to what this deal is, and of course, which side won. And you don't need to ask yourself, of course, the left is trying to say that China won because they hate America. They're saying China won, Donald Trump blinked, just like they said Canada won, Donald Trump blinked. It doesn't matter what it is. They want Team Not America to win, so that is how they will present it to you. Instead, there's a little bit more to it. Monday, today, was it today morning or was it yesterday morning?
Today.
It was today.
Today morning.
Treasury and most boring speaker ever, but we have to show you the clip. Scott Bessent.
He's good at his job, but he's boring.
Yes. He made the announcement and outlined the deal somewhat.
And what we have is a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs. Both sides de-escalated by 115%. So we are both at 10 on the reciprocal tariffs. The fentanyl-related tariffs, which President Trump put on in February, are still on. And
don't worry, we're going to get the
next
Trump's
90
version
days,
soon.
We have a mechanism to meet with the Chinese trade delegation again. We will be discussing
It's pronounced Chinese.
Tariffs, non-tariff trade barriers, currency, and there's subsidies of labor.
All right, that's enough. Just cut it to him, man. Just cut it to him. That's it. Because as we were preparing for today's show, President Trump had a press conference, and I hope this clip includes it. No, that's the pharmaceutical thing later.
Yeah, well,
the next one on the pharmaceutical where he took time out of his day to make fun of his friend for being fat.
He did.
On national television.
Nice to him in the process somehow.
It's unbelievable. But here is President Trump detailing this morning the China arrangement in a press conference.
I want to tell you that a couple of things. First of all, that doesn't include the tariffs that are already on, that are our tariffs.
True.
And it doesn't include tariffs on cars, steel, aluminum, things such as that, or tariffs that may be imposed on pharmaceuticals, because we want to bring the pharmaceutical businesses back
That's huge.
to the United States, and they're already starting to come back now based on tariffs. The talks in Geneva were very friendly. The relationship is very good. We're not looking to hurt China. China was being hurt very badly. They were closing up factories. They were having a lot of unrest. And they were very happy to be able to do something with us. And the relationship is very, very good. I'll speak to President Xi maybe at the end of the week.
So let's go to 3 key facts you kind of need to know about this here. And you can check out the references, link in the description. Number 1, where the tariffs stand now. So because of some tariffs that already predate this administration, right, Trump 2.0, and some of them came from Donald Trump's first administration, and the tariffs were some of the only policies that Biden kept. He tried to do it quietly.
Yes.
So the U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods right now are about 40 to 50%. So they've been lowered back to those sort of pre-standing rates. The Chinese tariffs on goods coming from the United States are about 25%. So effectively, tariff levels are back to what they were pre-Liberation Day with this new announcement. Key fact number 2. Well, who are the winners and the losers? Well, if you hear China tell you, the state media outlet Yuan Tantian, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't care. I don't care because I don't like the Chinese.
Yuan Tanshan.
Yuan Tantian.
I think I nailed it.
Yeah, there you go. They sound like Wolf Blitzer.
That is not a compliment.
They touted this. He's the longest standing CNN host, 35 years
That's
of
right.
So he said that the deal was a win for China, writing, China's firm countermeasures and resolute stance have been highly effective. Okay.
Said it just like that.
And by highly effective, what they mean is that China got what every single other country got with no concessions, basically. The other countries didn't have to have the same concessions. So they were able to sort of save face, these other nations, because they didn't retaliate, right? We talked about how Vietnam kind of came to the table. We talked about these other nations, and China decided to be indignant about it. And so China considers a win to basically be on the same playing field as everyone else. This is actually, I think Gerald brought this up. Huntsman is a logistics expert on X, and he wrote this take. He said, overall a win for the United States, maintaining a lot of optionality on future actions and still holding a strong floor at 30% minimum tariffs. Note also today how many people who said tariffs would be an apocalypse over the past 100 days will now claim that 30% is pretty much fine. So this Overton window has been shifted. And again, this started with the first Trump administration. It's one of the few policies that Biden kept. And I think he kept it because it was so popular with a lot of working class Americans, and that's why Donald Trump won the Rust Belt.
Yeah, and it was absolutely necessary because Biden was in the camp of we just bring them into Western order and they'll start playing by Western rules. He's been doing that for his entire life. I think he soured on that just a little bit, and I think he understood like these guys are not just going to come play by our rules. So here's the thing: this could go one of two ways with Trump. Yes, there are higher tariffs than a lot of people thought would be okay. So he did go higher and shift the Overton window, like this guy said. The 90-day thing is really what will tell us if this is a win or not. Hopefully this is enough pressure and we didn't cave. Doesn't seem like we've caved right now, but we're still not 100% sure.
Right.
So we'll see.
Well, this brings
I like where we are, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. This is where we are right now. And that brings us to key fact for number 3. What are things going to look like, let's say 90 days from now? So during the conference in Geneva, I believe it was Bessent who said that the United States didn't want to decouple, which I don't necessarily know that I agree with. I think we kind of do want to decouple from China. We certainly need to reduce our reliance on China. Yes. We saw during COVID what a problem that was. But they are saying that the stance of this administration is they need to bring us, our relationship with China, to a state of balanced trade, at least.
Neither side wants a decoupling. And what had occurred with these very high tariffs,
someone get him a Red Bull.
as Ambassador Greer said,
I understand why Josh
was the equivalent of an embargo, and neither side wants that. We do want trade. We want more balanced trade, and I think that both sides are committed to achieving that.
Now, here's where I don't agree. Both sides are not committed to achieving that, and I don't necessarily think that's possible. You just made the point, well, it sort of comes from the libertarian mindset, too, of, you know what, they'll want to come into the modern world. They'll want to start playing ball with us because China's going to want to have the kind of life quality that we do in the United States. First off, doesn't take into account communist Chinese government who won't allow that to happen.
Right.
Second, there really can't be any type of balanced trade when the consumers in China, they're not really consumers.
No.
They don't spend.
They save.
Right? So they make and we consume, but they don't consume our products, to be clear. Their savings rate, it's the highest in the world in China. And this is kind of where we are, the disadvantage. Like, let me give you an example. The Chinese toy makers, cheap crap, right? They have a lot of specialty items now, and they do cars and some chips. But the truth is, their lifeblood goes away if Americans stop buying cheap crap. That is what is necessary for China's economy to exist. Novelty trinkets, effectively. They make it, it's consumed here in the United States. American companies make usually higher quality goods or more specialized goods, and those aren't really available for them to purchase in China. China's exports, as a percent of their GDP, about 2 times more than the United States. Our relationship is not even remotely comparable, and I don't know that that is going to be fixed because China won't allow their people to basically enter into the consumer market. That's a scary thing. If enough Chinese citizens have the consumer power of that degree of wealth, they're gonna clamp down on it. It's a communist Chinese government. So I disagree with this premise, this idea that, we're going to get to balanced trade. I don't think that is going to happen as long as it's a communist nation.
Well, and what I hope that Bessent, who I really need to see some complex physical movement to believe he's not a robot. I need some kind of proof of
Yes.
I need
Chuck E.
to see
Cheese
like
performer.
an athletic endeavor of some
You
sort.
say it's your birthday.
Yeah, really do. No, but I think
He's XD1.
I hope what he means by balanced trade is not just like, balancing the dollars on each side. I hope it's saying like, hey, IP laws are actually going to be enforced in China. I hope he's actually going to say that if we can have a Chinese company sue somebody in the United States, then we can also have that reciprocal ability in China. I hope he's going to say that it doesn't have to have just a Chinese person on the board of the company or part owner of the company to be able to open. I hope those kinds of things are being removed in this process. And maybe then we can get to a more balanced trade approach. It doesn't mean equal. It just means it's much more fair and open. But there's a really good point. Like, they don't want our companies having unfettered access to their markets, just like they won't have TikTok in their market. It exposes their citizens to American culture completely unfettered, and they do not want that. They want to control the narrative.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Well, they don't want a lot of social media because
Or Chuck E. Cheese.
Those starving Chinese men will see a couple of corn-fed American women are Latinas in Florida and go like, oh, damn!
We're going to Nebraska!
Yeah. Miami, you say? Oh, you're still here? And you're still watching this on YouTube? You've probably noticed something is missing by now. I'm not here. That's because the Live Daily Show is now streaming exclusively on Rumble weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Tune in there, where nothing is censored.